Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and finally after a kind of sort of break, Ash Answers is back this week. And we've got a lot of questions lined up. If you don't know, Ash Answers is the show where I answer the questions you ask on Twitter using the hashtag AshAnswers. So without further ado, let's get to the questions. Hey Ash, when is the next collab coming? It was good to see SuperSaf in your 5Z video. Now here's the fun fact, right? There are actually two fun things about that. So basically, when I was in Taiwan, I was telling Saf that I just wanted him to hold the phone for a couple of seconds. I just wanted to put him in somewhere in the video. I thought it'd be fun. It'll be a nice little guest appearance for you guys and all that. And then once I put the video out, we got a bunch of people going. A few people, a lot of you guys were happy. A few people going like, stop copying other people's videos. I'm like, hey, that's called a guest appearance. And anyway, and here's fun fact number 2. So we totally forgot about doing this. And then Saf was like really tired in his room. And then I knock on his door and I'm like, dude, we were supposed to do this, you know, kind of. Can you do you have let's not do anything extensive. Do you have a couple of minutes? I just want you to use the phone and I'm just going to get a couple of shots. So I was like, yeah, why not? But he was so damn tired and he hates those shots. He hates it and we ended up using it in multiple videos. So yeah, next time we are at the same place. So guys, right now I'm not going to be traveling. I've got a couple of invites, one major launch in New York, one in Spain. And I don't think I'm going to go to either of those. And there's also the other, IFA that's happening after that. And I'm going to be avoiding all three because I need to spend some time in the office right now. We've got a couple of people interning. Just getting them up to speed is going to take a while. So that, the videos we've been, our current team has been doing great with regards to editing the videos, getting stuff out on time. It's all been going as per plan. It's been really good, but getting in a couple of more people is just gonna make it all the more easier, and it'll make us we'll be able to bring out a lot more content a lot faster to you guys. So I'm going to be focusing on that right now. So yes, that means I'm going to have to skip a couple of major launches, but so be it. I spent 6 years not traveling, so that's not going to be a big thing. But then in the future, after that, wherever we go, whenever we meet Saf again, hey Saf, if you're watching, let's do something, buddy. Any news on if or when ASUS will launch the Zenfone 5 in India? Last I heard, they were contemplating the launch. So here is the conundrum ASUS faces, right? India is a very spec sensitive country, including myself. We look at specs a lot. So here's the conundrum. The Zenfone Max Pro is at around 11K with the 636. The Zenfone 5 cannot be launched under, let's say, 17, 18K. So that again has a 636, but then it's just the chip that's the same. The build is much better. The camera is, as you guys have seen in the 5Z video, the 5Z has a different DSP, but well, it's still, it is still the same hardware on the 5. So it's going to be almost as good. If you haven't seen the 5Z video, here's a card to it. Do check that out. So better cameras, better build. They're going to charge more, but will the audience be receptive to it? That's kind of been the question in ASUS's heads, at least from what I've been seeing. I guess that's what they're thinking of. What do you guys think? Would you be interested in buying a Zenfone 5 with a 636 at around 18 to 20K? Is that something you'd be willing to pay, or would you just, go with the Zenfone Max Pro or go up to the 5Z? What do you guys think? Should there be a phone in between? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Maybe ASUS would see this and it would help them make their mind up, make up their minds. Is there any noticeable difference between the Honor View 10 and the Honor 10? If not, what is the marketing strategy behind launching a phone with 90% similar specs at a similar price? Isn't Honor cannibalizing itself? Short answer, yes, they are cannibalizing themselves. Long answer, while it might not seem like much, it's 5.99 versus 5.84, the reality is the Honor 10 is a much more compact phone. It is the equivalent of a 5.7-inch kind of phone, I would say, because it's a 19:9, and with the notch, they've shaved off so much of those bezels. The display itself is not going to be different, but because there is a notch up top, there is a lot more space that they've shaved off. It kind of feels like S9 to S9 Plus, but then the weird thing is the pricing there. So it is a bit of cannibalizing, but then I feel it is, I mean, it is nice for the end consumer to have choices. You want a compact phone, you could go with the Honor 10, but if you want something bigger, then yeah, the Honor 8 Pro is an option. Thoughts on brands releasing new colors months after launch? Smart marketing? Hell yes. I would prefer they release a new color every couple of months or so to keep themselves in the news, rather than pay a big celebrity money and then charge us that, added to our total, the amount we pay. So I feel this is a better strategy. It still helps the brands remain in the news. At the same time, they aren't going overboard with their marketing and still managing to keep costs low. So win-win, right? I mean, what's the worst? You end up not getting the cosmetic color that you wanted. And I guess that's fine. The internals are the same. I mean, as long as they aren't launching a T variant and then a U variant and then a V variant, W, X, Y, Z, like, as long as we don't have a OnePlus 6T, 6U, 6V, 6W happening every couple of months, I'm okay with it. As long as the internals aren't being changed, I'm good. 2016 true flagship S8 iPhone 7 Plus versus 2018 budget flagships like the OnePlus 6, 5Z. Your pick and what? It's actually quite a good question. I mean, I'm kind of meh with the whole true flagship, budget flagship terminology, but let's stick to it here. S8 versus a OnePlus 6, I'd go with the OnePlus 6 every single time. Why? Because the S8 is a cool phone, it's a great phone, it's got a very good chip inside and everything, but this is newer, and OnePlus is a brand that gives you support for 2 years, just like Samsung. So I'm gonna get a lot more updates. My phone's gonna remain relevant a lot longer, which is why I'd probably go with the OnePlus 6. And again, it's got the newer chip inside. The cameras might, the S8, I haven't tested them side by side, but the S8 might win out on cameras. The S8 has better water and dust resistance. The S8 has the better display. Samsung uses their best displays for themselves. So again, you're not going to really notice it, but if you're going to nitpick, the S8 might have the better display. And of course, it's got the higher resolution display. So that's definitely a point in the S8's favor. And the S8 has micro SD as well. So the S8 has a few things going for it, but I'd still go with a newer chip. Like I said, pretty spec intense, newer chip, longer support. I'd probably go with the OnePlus 6. But then again, I'm not going to fault people for wanting to go with last year's flagships. It's still, there are advantages, like I said, and you get the service chain of an Apple or a Samsung. That's always a plus. So it's kind of apples to oranges, if I could say. It depends on where you stand. What is it that you give more priority to? There's no clear-cut, straight answer here. Which is the best media streaming platform amongst Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and Hotstar? I'm confused to where I should throw money at. Again, dude, it depends on what you want. I'm probably the wrong person to be asking because I don't watch any regional content. As in, I don't watch, there's not a lot of Tamil stuff on any of this. And I don't understand Hindi. So I'm not the right person to be answering it. But if you're somebody who exclusively watches a lot of TV series, TV shows, the American ones, then for me personally, I find Amazon Prime to be best value because, well, you also get the Prime services, you get faster deliveries and stuff. So that is one, and of course it's the cheapest option amongst these, right? So I kind of feel Amazon Prime, it's got a lot of TV shows. So I use Prime a lot. I also do use Netflix. I just watched Glow on it. Netflix has a few shows I really like The 100, Glow, what else? Once Upon a Time, sorry. One Day at a Time is something I like. Riverdale is again something I like. I watch, what is that? Orange is the New Black. There are quite a few shows that I really like that Netflix has, but Netflix is a very pricey option, and we've been hearing about them cranking up prices in other parts of the world. Hopefully they don't do it in India, but Netflix is a seriously pricey option. Amazon Prime is the cheap one. It is the one that offers the best value for me. Hotstar, I don't really watch TV on Hotstar. I do watch Silicon Valley occasionally, but Hotstar for me, I don't like their TV interface a lot. It is not as intuitive or as easy to use as Prime or Netflix. Netflix has the best interface. Again, this is all subjective. It's all based on personal preference. I'm pretty sure you could feel a different way. Hotstar, though, gives you cricket. So I pay for Hotstar as well. for the cricket content. I exclusively use it only to watch cricket. And again, Sony Live is another option, which basically is only for the matches that are telecast only on that. So again, not a very clear answer to what you wanted, but my perspectives are this. This is how I look at it from where I stand. What's the difference between a normal 60Hz panel on devices and a 90Hz or 120Hz panel on a ROG phone or the Razer phone respectively? So these are refresh rates. These basically dictate how smooth the gameplay is. So higher the refresh rate, the smoother your gameplay is. But then the phone needs to be able to output those FPS, those frames per second, right? So which is why with Asus they kind of went for a compromise. They said 90Hz because not a lot of games are going to be able to output 120Hz at full HD. So it's we kind of need a compromise. But then are those faster refresh rates really gonna make a big difference for your gameplay? Now this is something you need to experience for yourself. I haven't really spent a lot of time with the ROG phone. I got a couple of hours with it at the event, and I've never used the Razer phone, so for me to go ahead and talk about it wouldn't be right because I haven't really spent time with it. Theoretically, I don't see it making a lot of difference because mobile gaming is not as graphically intense as a PC or console. And with consoles till date, a lot of games still get by with 30 FPS, and we are talking about 60 plus, right? So again, I need to use these phones before I give you a more solid answer. Which one do you prefer, a secondary telephoto or a wide angle lens? If you asked me this before my Bali trip, I'd just close my eyes and say telephoto. When I was in Bali, I really did miss my telephoto lens. I really wished at some places I felt like, hey, I'm too far away from this. If I could actually zoom in, I would have gotten a much better shot. But then the wide angle kind of does something. I have used the older Zenphones which had it. I was never really this attached to wide angle. But now I kind of understand where all these LG fans come from when they say, hey, this LG phone is awesome. You should cover it. The camera is great. I kind of get that. The wide angle gives especially when you're shooting landscapes, it gives you that extra oomph. It gives you that difference in a shot. It gives you that when you are able to capture that much, the pictures just turn out that much better, especially when you process them and you post them on Insta. I kind of went overboard with quite a few images that I processed. I mean, I'm sorry. All right. But then it just gives you that wide landscape. It's just something really cool. It's not an either or. Again, I'm sorry for 3 questions in a row going with the same thing. It is perspective, right? It depends on what you want to do. Do you want optical? The question here is what I prefer. And today, as of now, I prefer wide angle. Ask me again in a month, my answer would change. As of now, in Bali, I really like shooting a lot of wide angle shots. But it is what it is, right? Preference changes. Been wondering how Swift Ash has and do you get time chilling watching TV? If so, what are you watching now? So I just watched Glow. I don't find a lot of time to watch TV, so I do like watching TV. So what I end up doing is rewatching old shows that I've already watched, so that when an episode ends, you don't really have to watch the next one because you kind of sort of know what's gonna happen. But it's still entertaining enough. Some shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Scrubs or Friends, these are just nice to go back and watch. Entourage is one. Right now I'm rewatching Psych, so I've been watching it for a while now. So it's just like when I'm on flights or something, I just watch an episode, go to sleep, and then that's one major development in my life right now. I've been able to fall asleep on flights, which is how I've been able to shoot a lot of videos, because every time I get on board and then I go to sleep. So, and my neck kind of went for a toss. My wife got me a neck pillow. So now that's taken care of. I slept like a baby on the flights to and back, to and fro, Bali. So yeah, that was nice. In my personal opinion, I don't bother about your sweet intro. I just keep that. Please do casual reviews rather than your heavy script. What's your opinion? So my opinion is I prefer scripted videos. Why? Because if I'm not gonna script videos, I'm gonna take around 12 minutes to tell you what I could probably tell you in 6 or 8. So I feel your time is worth something. It's easier for me to not script it. Do you guys think I'm struggling to speak unscripted? I do. Ashans is unscripted. I could speak for 45 minutes unscripted too. doing a video unscripted is a lot easier for me than doing it scripted, because scripting I need to sit down, think about stuff, write a sentence and then strike it, write it again, try to incorporate everything, make sure I don't miss anything, type all that together, then set up a teleprompter, put it into the Me Pad, which my amazing colleagues most of the times don't have it charged, so wait for it to charge, then stick it in, pair it with my controller, and then control it, make sure that I'm not just reading stuff, I'm still being expressive. It's a lot more complicated for me to script it and shoot it. The easier thing for me to do is just go unscripted. It's easy. That's what I did for the first 2 years on YouTube. It's a lot easier to do unscripted videos, but the reason I do scripted videos is so that I can make stuff easier for you. Your time is worth something, so I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to take 12 minutes to say what I could say in 8. I don't want to keep having the ands and the that's and the uhs and the ums. I would prefer for you guys to have everything given to you as much as I can. I want to give it in as small a time period as possible, as concise as possible. At least that's where I stand. What do you guys think? Do you feel that all the extra effort I'm putting in is something you appreciate, or do you feel I should just randomly babble on and stretch videos out? And that actually works. YouTube's algorithms like higher watch time. YouTube algorithms like longer videos. So that would probably help my videos rank higher. But this is something that I've been very, very passionate about. I would like to give you the best content in as short a time as possible. That helps me keep my videos short, clear, crisp. And I still feel the expressiveness part of it is that I'm working on it all the time. So you guys let me know in the comments below, what is it that you'd prefer? Any feedback's always welcome, and thank you. This good mic for podcasts. I don't know, I don't do podcasts. But then again, I've heard from people that the Blue Yeti, I think, is a good mic to start with. When are we getting a showdown between the new Asus and the OnePlus 6? Full comparison, speed test, camera comparison, what do you want? Let me know in the comments and let's make it happen. I'm using the Honor 8 Pro right now, and honestly I'm quite happy with it and not facing any issues. Should I get the 5Z or continue with this one? Will it be a huge upgrade in terms of performance or camera? This is asked by Ariraj Banerjee, the only person to ever buy C4E merchandise. We had for a very tiny period, like a week, we had my script, shoot, edit, repeat t-shirt on sale, and he was the only one who bought it. He still has it as his display picture. Maybe I'm biased and I pick his questions a lot because of that. Probably not. But anyway, buddy, you just answered your own question, didn't you? You are honestly quite happy with it and not facing any issues. Then why would you want to upgrade, right? It's still got the latest chip that Huawei has to offer, so it's a flagship chip. The performance is great. Upgrading to a 5Z, you're not going to really notice a lot of, me personally, I always stand for 2-year upgrades. Realistically, you could hold on to a phone for 3 to 4 years, but then brands don't provide support for it and the updates get messed up. So, realistically, you should be able to hold on to a phone for 2 years. There is absolutely no reason why you should upgrade from a phone that you're happy with and you aren't facing any issues. Hold on to it for a couple of years. Probably if you really want to do it late next year, I wouldn't want to upgrade to a 845. Hell, I wouldn't want to upgrade to the next chip. I'd probably hold off. If when you feel your phone is slow, you feel your battery life has degraded, you feel you aren't happy with your phone, then go ahead, upgrade, but not right now. Chromecast or Amazon Fire Stick? Another question that I'm not going to give you a straight answer to. Okay, my answer is Amazon Fire Stick. Okay, why? Because I don't like Chromecast, the way people use Chromecast. I like Chromecast if I just want to quickly throw a video on TV, like I'm showing somebody asks me something about a phone and I just want to throw the video I have on TV, then I love Chromecast. My Nvidia Shield TV has it built in and I just throw it on screen all the time. All right, if I'm just sharing some pictures that we shot, I'm like, hey, did you see this pic? I'm cool with it. But then to use it with an app, to use it for TV, like if I'm using Netflix or Amazon, these are times where I really dislike using Chromecast, because controlling it is very difficult. You can pause, play, go rewinding and fast forwarding aren't really easy with certain apps. Some do handle it well, like YouTube does it well, but with others it isn't that easy. I prefer the physical remote control that I can use with a Fire TV stick. And again, when I get a call, if I'm watching an episode of something on Chromecast and I get a call and I'm watching it with people, I'll need to make everybody wait till I get back. With Fire TV, they could just keep watching. I could just go out, say, hey, I'm watching something. Stop calling me now. And then I can come back and continue watching what I'm watching, right? So these are some reasons why I mean, Chromecast does its thing really well. That's the whole casting part. But from a video viewing perspective, from a streaming app perspective, I would always choose Fire TV over Chromecast. So we know that you're not interested in giveaways, but in recent times, there's more giveaways in C4E Tech. Why? So I've never said I'm not interested in giveaways. I've always experimented with giveaways. Recently, what happened is a few months back, we had a bunch of phones, and the team, we generally sell phones off. And with recent changes with eBay, they need the GST number input into it. And when we are buying a phone, let's say we're buying a phone, what do I say? Okay, let's take a Nokia X6, for example. It's a 16K phone, but when I'm importing it, they're already billing me a premium. So I'm buying it for like 19K. And on top of it, customs pushes it up to like 23, 24. Now, if I'm selling it, people are gonna wanna buy it at like 16. All right, so I'm already losing 8K on it. And then on 16, eBay is gonna take a cut, which is around 5%. So there you go, another 800 bucks gone. So it's around 15. So I've lost around 9,000 bucks. And now when they wanna add the GST number and for me to charge GST on it, that becomes a pain, because I don't know how many percentage that is. I'm guessing it's around 18, 20%. So then that becomes like another 3,000 bucks out there, which means I'm making like, what, 10,000 bucks of the phone, 10,000, 11,000, I'm losing like 15,000. So I thought, so we stopped selling stuff on eBay. It's only on OLX, and the guys keep forgetting to list stuff on OLX. And then what happens is we had a bunch of phones sitting at one point, and I thought, you know what, we are taking huge losses any which way. So let's just, put some of these up on giveaway. Like when we are unboxing a phone, let's not bother selling it. Let's just put it on giveaway. And that is how this recent trend of, a monthly giveaway started. And then something like the Zenfone Max Pro happens, and it's like, okay, this is a nice phone. A lot of people are interested. So let's just buy one and give one away. And that's how some phones are in phones we've imported. They're phones we buy and give away. Sometimes somebody breaks a phone. Harris did. Nokia X6. Enough. I'm trying to import another one. And suddenly there's no way to import it. Nobody seems to have it in stock. I don't know. We are trying to organize it. I did offer the winner a Nokia 8 instead. I don't know if he's going to accept to it. If he accepts, I'd probably give him a Nokia 8 instead. That's another phone that we've had for ages. So anyway, those are all the questions that I picked for today's episode of Ash Answers. If you hated this, you know what to do. But if you did like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And here's something new. Going forward, guys, if you want to send in your questions in the form of videos, you can do that. You still need to type in your question and all that, but you can attach the question. So hear me out clearly. Hear me out clearly. You can just turn on your selfie camera, record your question, and then still tweet it out. You still need to tweet it out. Hashtag Ash Answers, and you also need to type your question. Alright, so you type your question, you tweet it out just like you do always, but you could also attach a video of you asking the question so that I could probably play that video back to you. And instead of just hearing my voice reading the question, you could probably hear your own voice reading the questions. So that's something, a little bit of a tweak that we decided to try out. So this is going to be in testing phase going forward. So if you guys are interested, let me know if this is something you'd like to see. Whatever, you know what to do. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that. If you haven't hit the bell, what's wrong with me? If you haven't hit the bell icon yet, go ahead, ring the bell. And it is time I bid you adieu. Until next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Happy weekend. That's the thing I'm gonna say. It's Sunday. Maybe I should move Ash Answers from Sunday. Move to Friday evening so that I can tell you guys, have a great weekend. I don't know. Sunday afternoon is fine. What do you think? What do you think about the slot? Comments.